You asked for this one, and you're not going to like what I found. I went looking for the new cars actually worth buying in 2026. Reliable, honestly priced, fixable after the warranty runs out. Cars that won't bankrupt you at 80,000 kilometers, and after going through the reliability data, the inspection reports, and the repair records, I could only find 7. Not 7 per category, 7. Out of every new car on sale across Europe. 7. And here's the part that's going to anger a lot of people. Not one of them is European. The continent that invented the motor car, the home of BMW, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, the lot of them cannot put a single car on this list. That's not my opinion. The 2026 reliability data says it plainly. In Consumer Reports' latest rankings, Japanese brands take 6 out of the top 7 places. Toyota sits at the top. Mercedes sits dead last. The cars worth your money in 2026 are Japanese, and the badges Europe taught you to respect are the ones the data tells you to walk past. These 7 aren't exciting. Excitement in a modern car usually means an expensive failure waiting to happen. They're honest machines, the kind that just work, and there are only 7 of them left worth recommending with a straight face. If you're about to spend serious money on a new car, this list could save you from a €30,000 mistake. When people first asked me for a video on the good new cars, I thought it would be simple. Check the data, talk to the trade, make a list. Instead, I found something closer to a graveyard. The honest car is nearly extinct. I started with the hundreds of models on sale across Europe. Take out the ones with the wet timing belts and stretch chains that destroy themselves, and you lose a huge slice of the list straight away. Take out the dual clutch gearboxes that grenade the moment the warranty ends. Take out the subscription nonsense, the sealed for life lies, the electronics no independent garage can even plug into. Now you're down to a few dozen. Then apply the real test, the one the showrooms hate. Will an ordinary mechanic still be able to fix it affordably in 10 years' time? Will the parts still be cheap and easy to find? Does the actual reliability data back it up, or just the marketing? Run that filter properly and a few dozen becomes 14, and 14 becomes 7. 7 honest cars out of everything on sale in the entire continent. And before anyone says it, no, this isn't me being soft on the Japanese or harsh on Europe for the sake of it. I would happily put a great British or German car on this list. The data simply won't let me. Every time a European model got close, its reliability record pulled it back off again. That's not a grudge. That's the survey results, the inspection figures, and the repair bills all saying the same thing. If you're buying a new car in 2026 or trying to talk a family member out of the wrong one, hit subscribe and ring the bell. This is the list the showrooms would rather you never saw. Let's count them down. Number 7, the Suzuki Swift. This one makes people laugh until they look at the bills. From around €21,000, the Swift is the cheapest car on this list, and it is one of the most honest machines you can buy new in 2026. While everyone else piled on complexity, Suzuki did the opposite. They kept it small, kept it light, and kept it simple. The little 3-cylinder petrol is about as straightforward as a modern engine gets, with a mild hybrid system that assists rather than complicates. There's no big turbo straining itself, no clever cylinder deactivation trickery, none of the over-engineering that fills workshops. And because the whole car weighs almost nothing, nothing on it works hard. A light car stresses its brakes less, its suspension less, its engine less. That's not a styling choice, that's longevity by design. The interior is honest hard plastic, and that's a compliment. There's no soft touch coating to peel, no piano black trim to scratch into a mess, no fake materials to fall apart. It'll look the same in 15 years as it does today. The infotainment does the one thing it needs to, which is mirror your phone and nothing more. And here's the real beauty of it. Almost any mechanic can work on a Swift with ordinary tools. No lockdown systems, no dealer-only diagnostics, parts that are cheap and everywhere. Suzuki has quietly built a reputation as one of the most dependable names in the business by refusing to chase fashion. The Swift is proof that reliable, affordable transport doesn't have to cost €30,000. It just has to be built by someone who isn't trying to trap you. Number 6, the Mazda CX-30, and specifically the naturally aspirated 2.0 Skyactiv G petrol. Not the turbo, not anything clever. The plain 2.0 petrol that the magazines called underpowered is the only version I'd put my name to. And from around €30,000, it's one of the few crossovers I'd still trust to be running, trouble-free, well past 150,000 kilometers. The reason is what Mazda left out. There's no turbocharger to cook itself, no wet belt sitting in the oil, no dual clutch gearbox, just a conventional automatic or a proper manual. The engine uses a chain, not a belt, and port injection that doesn't choke the valves with carbon the way the direct injection engines do. Mazda took the hard road, building a simple, slightly old-fashioned engine. and the payoff is an ownership experience the German crossovers can't touch. Consumer Reports 2026 data has Mazda among the most reliable brands on the market, sitting up near Toyota and Lexus while the premium European badges languish. Inside, Mazda did the sensible thing. They kept the buttons, physical climate controls, a proper rotary dial for the screen that you can use without taking your eyes off the road. After a decade of the industry burying everything in a touchscreen, Mazda understood that controls you can feel are safer than controls you have to look at. Yes, €30,000 isn't cheap, but the value is in the years afterwards. Strong resale, a long warranty in most markets, and a repair history close to non-existent. The CX-30 is the rare modern crossover bought by people who did the maths instead of falling for the showroom. Number 5. The Honda Civic, now the eHEV hybrid. The Civic has quietly been one of the most dependable cars in the world for decades, and the 2026 hybrid hasn't broken that. From around €36,000, it isn't the cheap option anymore, but Consumer Reports and the wider reliability data keep pointing at the same thing. The Civic stands out for dependability while flashier rivals stumble. Honda's hybrid system is clever in a way that lasts, not in the way that breaks. There's no dual-clutch gearbox to wear out, no turbo under huge strain, no diesel emissions plumbing to clog. The electric side does the hard work in town and the engine does the motorway, and the whole thing is built to Honda's old obsession with doing it properly the first time. Ask the trade and they'll tell you the same thing they've said for years. Civics come in for servicing and not much else. What makes the Civic special, beyond the engineering, is that Honda still respects the driver. Real controls, functions you can reach without a menu, a car laid out by people who apparently still drive in the real world rather than designed for a screenshot. The space embarrasses cars from the class above. The boot is genuinely useful, and the build quality is the kind that still feels tight in a decade. It's not a car that will excite your neighbors. It is a car that will be starting, first time, every morning, long after their leased German hatchback has been handed in with a list of faults. For a lot of buyers in 2026, that's exactly the trade worth making. Number 4. The Mazda MX-5, the 2.0 manual. A 2-seat sports car on a reliability list. People assume it's a mistake. It's not. The MX-5 is here because Mazda built the rarest thing in the modern market, a fun car that doesn't punish you for owning it. From around €34,000, the naturally aspirated 2.0 is deliberately understressed. No turbo, no hybrid battery, no complexity. Just a light, simple engine in a light, simple car, which is the whole secret to why these things run forever. The manual gearbox is one of the finest ever made and costs a few €100 to clutch, against the thousands a failed automatic in a German rival will cost you. Owners routinely take these past 300,000 kilometers on nothing but servicing. The soft top on the basic cars is manual. No motors to burn out, no sensors to fail, just a roof you drop in 5 seconds that will still work perfectly in 20 years. That's the entire MX-5 philosophy in one detail. Don't add a mechanism where a hand will do. It's impractical, obviously. 2 seats, a small boot, whether you'll actually feel. But that impracticality is honest. It doesn't pretend to be a family SUV with fake rugged cladding. It's a pure driver's car that happens to be more reliable than most German family saloons. And there's a quiet joke in that the trade enjoys. A sports car shaming the sensible hatchbacks on dependability. Mazda built it on purpose, and they built it to last. Number 3. The Toyota Corolla Hybrid. Here's the benchmark. When Consumer Reports put Toyota at the very top of its 2026 reliability rankings, this is the car that earns it. The Corolla Hybrid, in plain saloon or estate form, is about as close to a guaranteed 20 years of trouble-free motoring as the new car market offers. Toyota's hybrid system has been refined for the best part of 30 years now, and it's built around avoiding the things that fail. The electric motors have no brushes to wear, the transmission has no clutches to burn, the engine runs an efficient, under-stressed cycle. There's no turbo, no dual clutch box, no diesel filter, none of the fragile, fashionable technology that's filling workshops across Europe. It is, deliberately, an engineering rejection of everything that breaks. The taxi trade runs these to 500,000 kilometers on little more than oil and tires. And that's the real-world proof no brochure can fake. Toyota also backs the one part people worry about. The hybrid battery is covered for years, extendable through their health check scheme when you service with them. And the data now shows these packs lasting 15 years and beyond in the early cars. The fear of a ruinous battery bill, the thing that scares people off hybrids, simply hasn't borne out on a Toyota. From around €30,000, it isn't the cheapest car here, but over 10 years, once you count the fuel it saves and the repairs it never needs, it's one of the cheapest cars you can possibly own. It won't thrill you, it'll just refuse to let you down, which is worth more. Number 2. The Mazda 2 Hybrid. This is the one that proves the whole argument, and there's a delicious twist to it. In the TV report for 2026, drawn from 9.5 million inspections, the overall standout, the most reliable car they tested, was the Mazda 2. And here's the twist. The current Mazda 2 Hybrid isn't really a Mazda underneath at all. It's a rebadged Toyota Yaris, built on Toyota's hybrid system wearing a Mazda badge. So the most reliable car in Germany's biggest inspection study is, in engineering terms, a Toyota. Let that sink in for a second, because it tells you everything about where dependability actually lives in 2026. From around €23,000, you get Toyota's bulletproof hybrid train, the same under-stressed motors and clutchless transmission, in a sensibly sized, easy-to-live-with package. There's no turbo to fail, no complicated gearbox, no fragile electronics to be premium. It does the unglamorous job of getting you everywhere, cheaply and quietly, and then it does it again the next day for years. Real-world fuel economy is excellent, insurance is low, and the running costs are about as gentle as motoring gets. It's the opposite of an event. Nobody will look twice at it, but the inspection data crowned it the most reliable small car of the year, and the people who actually fix cars will tell you a small, simple Toyota-based hybrid is one of the smartest purchases on the market. You're buying the engineering, not the badge, and in this case, the engineering happens to be the best there is. And number 1, the car worth buying above all others in 2026, the Toyota Yaris Cross Hybrid. Not exciting, not premium, and not especially good looking, just the most sensible new vehicle you can put on your driveway, and the one I'd point my own family at without a second thought. The drivetrain is the same proven Toyota hybrid that runs in taxis to 500,000 kilometers. No turbo to fail, no diesel complications, no dual clutch disaster. Just electric motors, a simple transmission, and an undistressed engine. The formula Toyota has spent decades perfecting while everyone else experimented on their customers. And the reason it tops this list over the regular Yaris or Corolla is real-world practicality. The raised ride height shrugs off the speed bumps, the curbs, and the broken roads that wreck the underside of lower cars. It's reliability that survives actual life, not showroom life. The interior does the honest things, physical buttons for what matters, a screen that doesn't control the things keeping you safe. No subscriptions, no features that expire, no software update that bricks something that was working fine. You buy it once and you own it completely, which shouldn't feel revolutionary in 2026, but it does. The hybrid battery is covered for years, extendable through Toyota's servicing scheme, and these packs are lasting far longer than the doom mongers claimed. There's a reason this shape sells so well to people who have already owned everything else. It sits high enough to get in and out of without folding yourself in half. It's small enough to park anywhere, and it's cheap enough to run that the fuel gauge barely seems to move. For a great many buyers, that combination matters far more than badge or image ever did. From around 28,000 to 30,000 euros, it costs real money for a small SUV, but the 10-year sum is the one that counts. Excellent economy, almost no repairs, and a strong resale at the end. Over the life of the car, it's cheaper than things that cost half as much to buy. The trade has a simple way of putting it. It won't impress anyone at the lights. It'll still be working perfectly long after the flashy stuff is scrap. So there it is, the only 7 new cars worth buying in 2026. Out of hundreds on sale, 7 that pass the basic test of being reliable, honest, and fixable. That isn't a buyer's guide, that's a warning. And notice what's missing. Every single European mainstream and premium brand. No BMW, no Mercedes, no Audi, no Volkswagen, no petrol, Renault, or Fiat Saloon. The continent that invented the motor car couldn't put one model on this list. The 2026 data is brutally clear about why. Japanese brands take 6 out of the top 7 places in Consumer Reports reliability rankings, with Toyota first and Mercedes rooted at the bottom. The honest exceptions in Toyota are a handful of small electric cars that did well in the TUV inspections, and credit where it's due, but the brand level story is a clean sweep. Reliability moved east, and the European badges are coasting on a reputation the engineering no longer earns. The reason is the same one this channel comes back to again and again. The European makers chose complexity over durability. Turbos and wet belts and dual clutch gearboxes and screens for everything, chasing emissions targets and showroom dazzle, while the Japanese kept building simple, proven, under-stressed machines that just last. The studies prove it every single year, and every single year the same names sit at the bottom. So if none of these 7 suit you, here's the honest advice the trade gives quietly. Buy a well-kept 15 or 20-year-old car from a maker that knew how to build them, and maintain it properly. A late 2000s Corolla, Civic, or Mazda on a simple naturally aspirated engine will outlast and outsave most of what's sitting in a 2026 showroom. A simple, older car looked after will cost you less and strand you less than most new European metal. That's not nostalgia, it's what the repair bills and the failure rates actually say. So I want to hear from you. Which of these 7 surprised you the most? And are you giving up on new cars altogether the way a lot of this community already has? Tell me below. because your real ownership stories are worth more than any brochure, and they are what help the next buyer dodge the mistake. And if you want the other side of this, the cars the same 2026 data is screaming at you to avoid, the most unreliable new cars on sale right now, that's the video to watch next. It's the list that'll save you the most money before you sign a single thing.